Ever met someone who looks totally average, but deep down, they're actually richer than everyone else in the room? No fancy watch, no flashy lifestyle, yet they have the kind of wealth that buys real freedom. Today, I'm revealing 9 shocking signs someone is secretly wealthy. The things the richest people will never tell you, but quietly live by every single day. And warning, you might even discover you have more wealth potential than you think. So buckle up, because after this video, you'll never look at ordinary people the same way again. Let's get started. Sign number 1. They don't show off, but they quietly own everything. You've probably met that person who drives an old car, wears simple clothes, and doesn't flash any designer brands, yet somehow they always seem calm about money. No stress, no bragging, no hustle for image energy. Guess what? They might be secretly wealthy. True wealth doesn't scream. It whispers. Because when you already have it, you don't need to prove it. Most people misunderstand this. We've been programmed by social media to believe that wealth equals loud success. The latest iPhone, flashy jewelry, or constant vacation photos. But here's the truth. The people who really have money are often the ones living below their means. They know that the loudest person in the room is usually the one trying to convince others, not themselves. Secretly wealthy people understand one key thing. Assets bring peace, not attention. They focus on ownership, not appearance. That quiet person you underestimate could own multiple rental properties, have investments growing silently, or run an online business that prints money while you sleep. They don't care if you think they're average, because their bank balance and financial freedom speak louder than a designer logo ever could. It's not that they're cheap, they're strategic. They know that showing off drains money, but staying low-key builds it. They'd rather put $1,000 into stocks or real estate than into an outfit that impresses people for one night. Here's the reality check. If you feel the need to constantly look rich, you're feeding the system, not building wealth. Real millionaires don't flex their net worth. They build their next investment. So the next time you see someone who seems ordinary, look closer. Their simplicity might be the loudest sign of wealth you'll ever see. Because in today's world, the richest people don't chase validation, they quietly collect freedom. Sign number 2, they ask more questions than they answer. Ever notice how some people love to talk about themselves, their big money moves, their hot investments, their designer items? They want the world to know they're winning, but secretly wealthy people? They're the opposite. They're quiet learners. Here's the psychological twist. People who truly have money don't feel the need to prove they're smart. They focus on getting smarter. They ask questions like, what business are you into? How did you learn that? How can I build something like that? What do you think about this new opportunity? They observe, listen, and mentally take notes because they know one idea can multiply their wealth. Silence isn't shyness. It's strategy. There's a saying, broke people talk, wealthy people listen. And the truly rich, they study. Every conversation becomes a classroom. Think about the most successful investors, entrepreneurs, and wealth builders. They surround themselves with people who know more than they do. They avoid being the smartest person in the room because that's the fastest way to stop learning. Meanwhile, people pretending to be wealthy want attention. They boast, they exaggerate, they interrupt. They want credit for success they haven't even achieved yet. But secretly wealthy individuals are busy gathering information, not applause. Here's a reality check. If you're always talking, you're not learning anything new. If you think you already know everything, you'll stay exactly where you are. Wealthy people stay curious, and curiosity compounds just like money does. And watch how they respond when the topic turns to money or opportunities. They don't brag, they dig deeper. They want to understand. Why does this work? Who is involved? How can this scale? Where is the risk? What's the long-term upside? They think in terms of decades, not days. So when someone quietly listens while others brag, pay attention. That silent one in the corner might be the real financial killer. And here's the most surprising part. Asking questions is a form of confidence. People who fear exposure avoid questions. People who are secure welcome knowledge. Secret wealth isn't measured by how loud you speak, but by how wisely you listen. Sign number 3. They stay calm when money is involved. Have you ever seen two people react to the same money situation? One panics, the other stays calm like it's no big deal? That second person might just be sitting on silent wealth. Here's the mindset difference. People who struggle financially often have emotional reactions to money. Wealthy people make logical decisions about money. When an unexpected bill shows up, the secretly wealthy don't freak out. Why? Because they have emergency funds, investments quietly growing, multiple streams of income, financial confidence, not fear. Compare that to someone barely surviving paycheck to paycheck. One financial emergency and boom, everything collapses. The quietly rich have buffer, which gives them something rare: peace. Money panic is loud, financial security is silent. Think about it. If you really had millions in the bank or assets working for you, would you stress over fuel prices or phone bills? Probably not. And secretly wealthy people live exactly like that. They treat money as a tool, not a lifeline. Here's a wild reality check. Most people don't want wealth. They want the feeling of security wealth gives. Secret millionaires already have that feeling. They don't chase quick money. They play the long game. They don't gamble with savings. They invest with strategy. When the economy shakes, most people panic sell. The wealthy, they buy more assets because they see opportunity, not disaster. And look at their reaction when someone tries to show off material things. There's no envy, no insecurity, just a quiet smirk like, if only you knew. That calmness? It's a sign of internal wealth. Not the look at me type, but the I'm financially untouchable type. So ask yourself, do you want to look rich for a moment, or be wealthy for a lifetime? Because real wealth doesn't raise its voice, it speaks through confidence, stability, and the ability to smile when money matters appear. Secret wealth isn't loud, it's calm, it's controlled, it's power without panic. Sign number 4. They value time more than money. This is one of the biggest giveaways of hidden wealth, and most people completely miss it. Secretly wealthy individuals have a different currency they protect with their life: time. While others chase every dollar, they chase freedom. See, people who are struggling financially are often forced to trade time for money. Work more hours, take any gig just to survive, sacrifice weekends, sleep, even health. But quietly wealthy people? They spend money to save time, not the other way around. They'll outsource small tasks, pay for convenience, automate bills and income, invest in systems that work without them. Here's what they understand. Time is the ultimate wealth, and once it's gone, you can never earn it back. People who pretend to be rich will waste hours hunting for deals just to look like they're winning financially. Meanwhile, someone who's actually wealthy will pay more for a service that gives them hours of life back. Look at how they speak about goals. Not "I want more money," but "I want more time to live the life I want." And that mindset shift changes everything. Reality check moment. If you stop working today, how long can you maintain your lifestyle? A day? A week? A month? Secretly wealthy people can step away and still get paid. They build income that doesn't depend on their alarm clock or physical presence, because their plan isn't to work forever, it's to escape the grind and own their time. Notice how they avoid chaos and unnecessary drama too. Not because they're cold, but because emotional distractions cost time, and time costs money. And here's the craziest part. Even when they're wealthy, they don't waste time bragging about it. They're too busy living life on their terms. So if someone always acts like they're in a hurry, always stressed, always chasing money but never catching it, they're probably not wealthy. But that quiet person who chooses peace over pressure, who prioritizes smart work over hard work, who values time like a treasure, that person is operating at a level most people only dream about. Because real wealth isn't luxury, it's freedom. The richest flex of all is having control of your own time. Sign number 5. They have powerful connections, but they don't name drop. This one is big. Secretly wealthy people often know powerful, influential individuals, investors, CEOs, politicians, top professionals, but they will never brag about it. Why? Because real wealth is not only money, it's network. And powerful networks don't operate in loud public circles. They move silently. You'll notice something interesting. When someone brags about who they know, they usually don't know anyone that truly matters. But secretly wealthy people? They just make one quiet phone call, and problems disappear. They understand a life-changing truth. Your network is your net worth. They surround themselves with decision makers, visionaries, people with access, people who elevate their mindset. Not gossipers, not complainers, not the I wish one day crowd. Their circle is everything, because their circle shapes their opportunities. Now here's a reality check. Most people chase friendships that keep them comfortable. Quietly wealthy people chase relationships that help them grow. They don't show up in big noisy groups needing attention. They show up in small private rooms where futures are shaped. They choose quality over quantity every single time. Also, notice how they introduce people, not with "this guy is rich," but with "this is someone you should meet." They think in value, not status. And when someone talks too much about connections, wealth, or status, secretly wealthy people take mental notes. They know that if you talk openly today, you'll talk about them tomorrow. Trust is a currency, and they spend it carefully. Here's something else you'll see. They give more than they take. They invest in relationships. They lift others up because all ships rise with the tide. They understand that the richest opportunities in life are not advertised. They are introduced. So when you meet someone who never brags, yet somehow always gets access to the right rooms, always knows the right person to call, always seems well connected but never loud about it, that's not luck. That's wealth. Not the wealth you see, the wealth that moves the world behind the scenes. Sign number 6. They spend more on health, learning, and peace, not flexing. Most people chase material things. The new phone, trendy fashion, expensive nightlife, look rich upgrades. But secretly wealthy people? They invest in what pays them back, their mind, their health, and their peace. Here's the mindset shift. Poor people spend to impress. Wealthy people spend to improve. Watch how they use their money and you'll see the difference immediately. They buy books instead of chains, courses instead of parties, health checkups instead of hangovers, therapy instead of drama, gym memberships instead of gossip circles. They don't view self-improvement as a luxury. They see it as a requirement for long-term success. Because they know one truth many ignore: if your mind is broke, your money will follow. And here's another sign. They are extremely protective of their peace. They avoid chaotic people, draining environments, and toxic habits, because stress destroys wealth faster than any bad investment. That's why quietly wealthy individuals often seem calm, grounded, and emotionally stable. They've built a life where their mental health is a priority, not an afterthought. Now, the reality check. People who constantly look rich on the outside are often suffering on the inside. Anxiety, debt, comparison, pressure, struggling to maintain a lifestyle they can't afford. Meanwhile, the secretly wealthy build a life they don't need to escape from. They say no more often than yes, because not every invitation supports their future. You'll see them disappear for weeks or months to focus on business or personal growth. No announcement, no performance, just leveling up quietly. And here's the powerful twist. Rich isn't the person with the loudest lifestyle. Rich is the person who can afford a peaceful one. So when someone prioritizes knowledge, health, peace, purpose, stability, skills over designer labels and party lifestyles, that's real wealth in progress. The richest people don't chase attention, they chase evolution. Because they know material things can be taken, but who you become, that wealth is permanent. Sign number 7. They disappear when it's time to level up, not show off. Want to know one of the strongest signs someone is secretly wealthy or on their way there? They go silent when they're working on something big. Not because they're hiding from the world, but because they're building something the world isn't ready for yet. See, people who care about looking successful constantly broadcast their every move. I'm launching a business, new investment coming, something big is happening. But the ones who are truly serious, they show you results, not announcements. Wealth grows in silence. Noise attracts pressure, competition, and distractions. While others look for applause, secretly wealthy individuals look for progress. They're the type who will skip parties because they're studying new skills, miss trends because they're investing for the future, avoid gossip circles because they're focused on plans, switch environments to upgrade their network. They don't care about being seen now. They care about making moves that will make people notice later. And when they distance themselves, people misunderstand. Oh, you're acting different. You're too serious now. You think you're better than us? No, they simply think bigger than before. Here's a harsh reality check. Most people want success, but they also want constant entertainment. They want growth, but also want comfort. They want wealth, but don't want to disappear from the spotlight long enough to earn it. Quiet wealth doesn't come from being outside, it comes from being focused inside. Your goals, your grind, your growth. And when secretly wealthy people return after going missing for a while, their lifestyle has leveled up, their mindset has transformed, their plans have become real. People say, "Wow, when did you start winning like this?" The answer? When you stopped watching. Because real winners don't compete for attention. They compete for results. So when someone suddenly becomes quieter, stops trying to impress, chooses discipline over distraction, they might not be broke. They might be busy becoming unstoppable. The loud ones want validation today. The quiet ones are preparing for legacy. Sign number 8, they're extremely selective with what they spend on. Here's a shocker for many people. Secretly wealthy individuals often don't buy what the world expects rich people to buy. They're not automatically getting the latest iPhone every year. They're not paying extra for labels that only exist to impress strangers. They're not spending impulsively just because they can. They spend based on value, not vibes. And that's what separates them from pretenders. They ask themselves before buying anything, will this make me money? Will this improve my lifestyle long term? Will this save me time or stress? Will this help me grow? If the answer is no, the item stays in the store. Meanwhile, those trying to look rich, they buy whatever will create the fastest impression. New shoes for validation, new gadgets for attention, luxury items for likes. But here's the twist. People who truly have money don't want you to feel amazed by their spending. They want you to underestimate what they're truly capable of. This is why secretly wealthy people negotiate quietly, track their expenses, hate unnecessary debt, prefer durability over trends, avoid social spending traps. They'll spend generously on what matters: health, assets, education, travel, comfort, tools for productivity. But when it comes to clout spending, trend chasing, impressing others, they're the first to say, not worth it. That level of restraint isn't cheapness, it's power. Because they control money, money doesn't control them. Here's your reality check. Many people sacrifice their future wealth for short-term applause. But quietly wealthy individuals sacrifice temporary excitement for long-term freedom. It's a different mindset entirely. They don't ask, how can I look rich today? They ask, how can I ensure I never worry about money again? If you see someone who can afford more but chooses not to, someone who is intentional with every purchase, that is a major sign of financial maturity and hidden wealth. Because at the end of the day, looking wealthy is expensive, but being wealthy is smart. The secretly rich don't spend to impress the crowd, they spend to elevate their life. Sign number 9, they don't chase money, money chases them. Here's the ultimate mind-blowing sign someone is secretly wealthy. They don't wake up thinking, how can I make money today? Instead, they think, how can I create something so valuable that money comes to me? This is a different level of financial evolution. Most people depend on one income source, usually a job. If they don't work, money stops. But secretly wealthy individuals build a life where money flows even while they sleep. Businesses that don't need them 24/7, real estate collecting rent every month, investments growing quietly, digital products or systems running automatically. This creates something rare. Freedom from the grind. Think about it. If you stop working right now, how long could you survive? A week? A month? For many, not long. But secretly wealthy people? Their lifestyle is funded by past smart decisions. And here's what's truly shocking. They love the process of building more value. Not for the money, but for the game of growth. They aren't obsessed with fast money or get-rich-quick trends. They think long-term, years ahead, while others are thinking only about the weekend. They're patient, disciplined, focused. They don't cling to one income stream like their life depends on it. They build multiple because they know one can disappear overnight. Here's the real mindset difference. People who chase money end up tired and confused. People who attract money end up wealthy and confident. How? By becoming the type of person who creates solutions, opportunities, systems, skills, value. Money is just the reward. They understand a powerful truth. Money doesn't go to people who want it. Money goes to people who earn its respect. So if you ever meet someone who seems relaxed about finances, who doesn't panic about bills, who keeps building and leveling up without bragging, chances are they're not lucky. They're silently wealthy. Their wealth isn't loud. Their lifestyle isn't obvious. Their success isn't posted. Because they know, real power isn't chasing money. Real power is when money chases you. So there you have it, 9 shocking signs someone is secretly wealthy. And honestly, the biggest lesson here isn't about spotting rich people, it's about becoming one. Quietly, steadily, and with purpose. Real wealth isn't built for attention, it's built for freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of choices, freedom from worry. So if you're currently grinding, saving, investing, learning, even if no one sees it yet, keep going. Your success doesn't need loud approval, it just needs consistency. Now before you go, tell me in the comments, which of these signs surprised you the most? And if you're serious about building real wealth, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, join our fast-growing community, turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching. And hey, stay humble, stay hungry, and stay wealthy, even if it's in secret for now.